Ready for a trip down one of the wildest, most talked about moments in MMA history? Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 229 was a fight that had everyone on the edge of their seats. And the aftermath? Pure chaos. Now, years later, McGregor himself is opening up about why he came up short against the undefeated Khabib. From shock knockdowns to the unforgettable post-fight brawl, we're about to relive the highlights, the lows, and everything in between. Let's break down what really happened and what's next for these two legends of the sport. If there's one fight that has forever altered the MMA landscape, it's the clash between Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 229. Dubbed one of the most anticipated and electrifying showdowns in UFC history, this bout transcended the Octagon, becoming a cultural phenomenon. It was the fight everyone was waiting for, the brash, charismatic striker versus the stoic, relentless grappler. Khabib Nurmagomedov entered the Octagon as an undefeated juggernaut with a 26-0 record, while McGregor returned after a 2-year hiatus from MMA, fresh off his boxing mega fight with Floyd Mayweather. The stakes immense, the bad blood unprecedented. From the opening bell, Khabib Nurmagomedov dominated Conor McGregor with his unparalleled grappling. Known for his brutal pressure and suffocating style, Khabib dragged McGregor into deep waters early, neutralizing the Irishman's sharp striking and fast counters. McGregor, usually the one dishing out punishment, found himself on the defensive, struggling to escape Khabib's vice-like grip. In a moment that left fans in shock, Khabib dropped McGregor with a crisp overhand right, a punch from a fighter known for his wrestling, not his striking. It was a statement, a reminder that Khabib was more than just a one-dimensional grappler. McGregor, reeling from the unexpected blow, couldn't recover, and the fight continued to spiral in Khabib's favor. The fourth round sealed McGregor's fate,
He's so heavy. Big right hand by Khabib.
as Khabib locked in a neck crank, forcing the notorious to tap out. The UFC 229 fight ended with Khabib as the undisputed lightweight champion, but the night didn't end there. A massive post-fight brawl erupted, with Khabib leaping over the cage to confront McGregor's team. Meanwhile, members of Khabib's entourage stormed the Octagon, creating chaos that overshadowed the victory. It was a night of drama, violence, and raw emotion that left the MMA world buzzing. While Khabib's dominance was clear, the aftermath of that fight would be etched into UFC history forever. Fast forward to the present, and Conor McGregor has finally opened up about what went wrong in his UFC 229 fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov. In a candid conversation with Jonathan Snowden of Bleacher Report, McGregor admitted, "I didn't train properly and was not in perfect condition." This rare moment of honesty revealed that the Irishman's preparation leading up to the fight was far from ideal. He also cited suboptimal training conditions that contributed to his lackluster performance on fight night. For a fighter of McGregor's caliber, preparation is everything. Known for his explosive speed, precision striking, and psychological warfare, McGregor typically enters the Octagon sharp and ready to execute his game plan. However, in his bout with Khabib, he seemed to step behind, unable to match the pace and pressure of the undefeated Russian. This transparency sheds light on why McGregor, who usually oozes confidence and swagger, struggled to perform at his usual level. In a sport where mental and physical preparation can make or break a fighter, McGregor's admission humanizes him, offering a glimpse behind the persona of the notorious and showing that even the best can have their moments of vulnerability. While McGregor's admission adds context to his performance, it doesn't diminish Khabib's achievement. The Dagestani fighter, known for wrestling bears as a child, showcased his extraordinary grappling skills in the cage, controlling McGregor with ease. But it was Khabib's striking that truly caught everyone off guard. The moment he dropped McGregor with an overhand right, a move no one expected from the undefeated wrestler, it was clear. Khabib was more than just a one-dimensional grappler. His performance was a statement to the world, solidifying his status as one of the greatest to ever step into the Octagon. Khabib Nurmagomedov's victory over Conor McGregor at UFC 229 sparked heated debates about his place in MMA history. With a flawless 27-0 record and a dominant win over one of the sport's biggest stars, Khabib's case for being the greatest lightweight of all time is hard to ignore. His unparalleled grappling skills and relentless pressure were on full display, leaving McGregor with little room to breathe. The argument for Khabib as the best lightweight ever is compelling, especially considering the fact that no one has been able to come close to matching his dominance inside the octagon. However, some critics argue that Khabib's resume doesn't have the same depth as legends like Conor McGregor, who boasts victories over iconic fighters such as Jose Aldo, Eddie Alvarez, and Nate Diaz. McGregor's ability to claim victories in multiple weight divisions and against a variety of high-caliber opponents gives him an edge in the debate. While Khabib's record is impressive, some still question whether his opponents were as formidable as McGregor's. Despite the loss, McGregor remains confident and determined. Shortly after UFC 229, he took to social media to offer a sportsmanlike good knock to Khabib, while also promising fans that he'd be back. "When I set my mind on something, there's nothing I can't accomplish," McGregor declared, teasing a possible rematch. His desire for redemption remains strong, and the possibility of a McGregor vs. Khabib 2 has fans eagerly awaiting what could be one of the biggest fights in UFC history. What would a rematch between Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov look like? McGregor is adamant that he's learned from his mistakes and is determined not to repeat them. He claims to be hungrier, more focused, and fully committed to reclaiming his throne. The experience of UFC 229, combined with his time away from the octagon, has fueled his desire for redemption. McGregor believes that with the right preparation, he can take down the undefeated Khabib in a rematch, and his confidence is unwavering. On the other hand, Khabib may not have much left to prove. With his flawless 29-0 record and a retirement after his dominant victory over Justin Gaethje, Khabib has already cemented his legacy as one of the greatest to ever compete in MMA. His decision to step away from the sport was driven by a commitment to his family's wishes, and he has been steadfast in his resolve not to return to the cage. As fans clamor for a rematch, another name looms large in the lightweight division: Tony Ferguson. Known for his unorthodox style and relentless pace, Ferguson has long been considered a worthy challenger to Khabib. The fight between these two was booked and canceled multiple times due to injuries and unforeseen circumstances, adding to its mystique. Ferguson's performance against Anthony Showtime Pettis at UFC 229 was a testament to his grit and skill. Despite Pettis breaking his hand during the fight, Ferguson dominated, earning a TKO victory. Dana White has hinted at the possibility of Ferguson finally getting a shot at Khabib, a matchup fans have been dreaming about for years. While the McGregor-Khabib bout stole the headlines, UFC 229 was stacked with memorable moments. Derek Lewis delivered a last-second knockout of Alexander Volkov, followed by his now iconic post-fight interview where he proclaimed, "My balls was hot." Tony Ferguson's comeback against Pettis was a Fight of the Year contender, showcasing the resilience that makes him a fan favorite. Despite the heated rivalry and post-fight chaos, there's no denying the mutual respect these fighters command. McGregor's achievements, defeating legends like Aldo and Alvarez, cement his legacy as one of the sport's greatest strikers. Khabib's dominance and undefeated record elevate him to the pantheon of MMA greats. For McGregor, the loss to Khabib is a chapter, not the final word. "I'll be back," he said, and history suggests he means it. For Khabib, the question is what's next. With his father's dream fulfilled and his legacy intact, he may choose to walk away on his own terms. UFC 229 was more than a fight. It was a cultural moment, a clash of styles, personalities, and philosophies. As fans, we're left with questions. Will McGregor get his rematch? Can anyone challenge Khabib's supremacy? And what does the future hold for the lightweight division? One thing is certain, the story of McGregor versus Khabib is far from over. Whether it's a rematch or the rise of new contenders like Tony Ferguson, the lightweight division remains the most exciting weight class in MMA. And that's a wrap on this wild ride through the McGregor versus Khabib saga. So what do you think? Could McGregor make a comeback and get that rematch, or is Khabib's legacy untouchable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you're loving the action-packed stories, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest in the MMA world. What's next? Stay tuned, because we've got more jaw-dropping moments coming your way.